we'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am standing in hallway 2, looking at row 4, and looking at a blank slate right here. In today's video, we are going to move Trace outside next. I know originally I said I wanted to move the rhinos outside first. All right, as I was filming, Kagan said, "Hey Jerry, look." Kagan has boba on her head. Just crawling around on her. Oh, you just got a tail whip as you walked away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Very upset that you walked away from him. That's hilarious. Too funny. As I'm filming, she's pushing the boundaries of socializing a monitor. That was some good progress. So as I was saying, the next group we were going to move out were the rhinos. But as you know, last week we got Blue, the Lewisii hybrid. And see, Blue is hiding in his hide box, as that is the place he should hide. He is in there. And I say we're 5 days in. Blue has eaten minimal, and he has been out minimal. He does like to stick his head out of the hide box. He really just hasn't really made use of his enclosure yet. Hasn't explored up in the shelves. We noticed his walk being a little weird, and I don't know, hopefully, God forbid, that is something that happened in shipping, or it's because of his enclosure size and lack of exercise before. I don't know. And we're trying to figure that out. And so I think the next step is to move Trace outside. As you know, they make the Lewisii hybrids by crossing a Lewisii and a Cuban rock iguana. We know that Trace doesn't necessarily get along with Angus. She may in the future, but I think it's appropriate to put her next to Blue, and maybe seeing another iguana out here might spike his curiosity. It might get him out. It might get him to climb up and land up here. I might even need a softer ramp for him to be able to use that sunning shelf. He may, I don't know. We haven't even seen him on top of his hide box yet. So it's something to figure out. I mean, this video's not wholly about him. It's about moving Trace outside. So as you know, same as we did in that other enclosure, we have those same appropriate steps. Stapling the screen, getting those boards underneath the hide box slab, building a hide box, branches, digging out all this Okeechobee dirt and replacing it with white sand, a front shelf, a water tub, I believe the door frame on the other side. It's a long list of things to do, and it's rained the past 2 days. We needed it. We absolutely, needed that rain. I just ate some really amazing blueberry pancakes that Kagan made. So stinking good. So apologize for that burp. So there's a lot to do, but at least it's a cloudy day. I would love to say we can get this done in one day, but maybe tomorrow morning we'll finish this video up, so we'll see. I do have these 2 days in a row to get this done. Let's get started. Now, walking through to get supplies to get started, of course I'm gonna walk by the tortoises, and Kahlua is out standing by its food tray, guarding the food tray, huh, Kahlua? Kahlua's doing so much better. Of course, it didn't hurt. My mom stayed here for a couple days last week. Kahlua definitely is a spoiled child. And I'm sure enjoyed having its mom here. But you can see there's a lot more plowing and almost trying to wallow in the wet dirt, trying to find a low spot. And help me with the names again because I am so bad.
Sebastian and Ludwig.
Sebastian and Ludwig, right?
Yep.
And Ludwig are doing the same in these corners. They love these corners. In fact, Kagan was quite concerned that Sebastian is actually what looks like trying to go under the wall.
Yeah.
But Sebastian is really just trying to get low in the dirt. And that's what Sebastian is doing. It's not a tunneling species, but is finding that soft, cool dirt. It was getting so dry that their plants have lost a lot of their leaves, and they're losing a lot of what shade they would have had. So that was one of our discussions, is also to hurry up and get them some shade boards or something like that up in here. And we'll do that in a very soon up and coming video. They are still, because again, that question has been asked, how are the tortoises doing? They're still being carried in at night and put into their separate section of the hide box. The tray is inching closer, but we don't see anything promising as of yet. These guys, absolutely no fear of Kahlua. They walk right up to Kahlua, and Kahlua seems, as you guys see, he's just digging a trench here at the gate. So we're gonna keep trying. We just got back in town 2 days ago, but we do in the next couple weeks want to go to Sam's and discuss this with Sam and see if he has a solution to the problem. Now I'm gonna get to work. All right, I think the first step should be getting the dirt out, but when I grabbed all the tools to pull them out here, I grabbed the staple gun, the electric staple gun. I don't have many staples left in it, so I know we have to staple the next 3 enclosure walls. So let's just go kill all the staples we have, and I'm gonna have to put that on the list for the next Home Depot run to get more of those, because obviously we'll be building some other stuff in the future. Turkey pin, chicken grow out pin, etc. So let me just get that, and then I could put that tool away. And then the very next step will be digging out, and then I can do the boards under the slab after that. So I'm gonna get to it. Okay, I burnt through the staples real quick, trying to not staple the bottom where that door frame is gonna go, and it needs to be cut, because you have to cut, because part of this will be part of that door. But I think what I need to do is do these door frames, because right now the boards are not in alignment, and it's the same for all of them. So I think I'm gonna maybe dig the dirt out of the doorways on both sides, and which will allow the boards to move more freely, and go ahead and get those pass-through door frames on all of them. That will align the walls better. I didn't intend on working on these enclosures, but sometimes it's easier to just do those cuts all at the same time. It's going to be the same measurement times 3, well, the side portions times 6. Just knock it out, and then I'm done with that step. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, I have the pass-through door frames all done, with Pete laying in the cool dirt. Smart dog. And started digging a little bit of that out. And also, you guys can see, like, Blue is curious. He's now at the entrance of his box. He's got some fresh greens, some blueberries, and some Missouri iguana diet there for him. But the screens are all done. Now I can get this enclosure dug out. I dug a little bit more as I was doing that other step. So let me get this finished. It is hot and humid, so digging is not fun today, but I'll get this done, and probably treat for ants. All right, guys, I kept trying to film something. There was plenty of battery left, but the camera kept dying. When I last showed it to you, there were 24 buckets in here, or 18 buckets, and I had a whole bunch more to go. I think it ended up being 36 buckets. I left a ramp up for the tortoises, and I also left a mound of dirt in the back corner. If Trace decided she wanted to start digging, she has that option of a hill of dirt, and I think Kagan approves. So the next thing I need to do is that forward shelf right there, water tub, and then figure out the branches in here. And I believe that Kagan and I decided to just move Trace with her existing hide box. She's totally content with it. She doesn't need anything larger, so we'll just move her with that. So we might be able to get this done today, or maybe we'll do it first thing tomorrow morning where we can actually see an interaction between the two of them. I didn't get to film it because it was drizzling, but Blue was all the way out by his water tub. I don't know if he went in it and drank or anything, but I do know he was up front there. And I wasn't by the camera. I was rushing to get tools and the dirt in and all that stuff. So yeah, I know, I can't decide if it wants to rain or not. It rains, then the sun comes out. It rains and the sun comes out. So I'm gonna try and get that saw out and cut that lumber for the shelf before it rains again. All right, guys, it's the next morning and it's the big day. We're gonna move the animals today. While it was drizzling, I was able to finish the front shelving in all of the enclosures. Often it's easier when you're cutting something to do all the similar cuts. So this is the enclosure we're working on. We'll open it up. Blue is still in his hide this morning. But a lot of the animals are still sleeping. Yeah, so here's the shelf here. We're gonna need to find a water tub to replace that. And I do have to talk to Kagan about the water tub because I know the little tortoises couldn't get out of that water tub. So do we use something different in this? Or do we just put the big water tub for Trace and have something different for the tortoises? She'll have the answer to that. So it's branches. Branches are the next step. And I know a lot of people said something about adding to Blue's branches, that they're not large enough. I mean, I think that's plenty large enough. A water monitor, much larger, would get up that branch, no problem to get up there. But because of the way Blue climbs and stuff, we can make it a little bigger for him right away. And I mean, as long as he can get to that sunning shelf, that would be good. And maybe even add something so he can get to his hide box to get elevated a little bit. So I think we'll add those two things. I think I even have that little ramp thing. I have something that may work there. But we can add to this for him. But I don't think Trace has any issues with the small branch going up to her shelf. So I'll get started with the branches and we'll be moving them shortly. There, while we're here, it's just a cute couple sunning themselves, the two white throats, without disturbing them. They're just sitting on the shelf together. That's Glacier and Tundra. She looks so much more concerned about me in here than he is. His eyes are halfway open. Hers are wide open. Funny. All right, now I'll get to it. All right, I've got Kagan's attention, so let's see what she thinks. So this would be Trace's enclosure for now. Obviously, we can go back and replace branches, but I kind of stacked the branches where she has at least 2 branches at a time to get up, being that she only has the 3 legs.
Yeah.
If we feel like she has a problem, we can, well, I would figure she'd go up this way. This was just dressing the front of that, really.
Yeah.
We can see if she, because she's insanely mobile in her other enclosure, and I see her go up the screen, small branches. This branch would bring her to the front shelf. I tried to put stuff into the corners. I think this branch was so she had a better transition to that branch going across.
Yeah.
And then I even went into Blues and made The dogs are helping today. Hey, Evie. Just can't come in. We added a little bit more to Blue's branch. He had just the single branch. Now he has the double to hold on to going up. That's a nice shallow pitch. Oh, this is my extra branch. I need to take this out of here. That should be good. He should have plenty. I can always add more. And I know I had all sorts of suggestions for different types of wood to add on later. I'm using up these oak branches because we have them from hurricane cutting some of the oak trees in the yard. We have to do a whole bunch more. So we might as well use the branches as we have them and then start collecting better woods, more permanent woods that are gonna last. The stuff is not as accessible as you think. I know someone mentioned the citrus. Citrus is amazing. That would definitely last. But you can't trespass on citrus groves. I don't know anyone who owns them to get access to large citrus limbs. One of the better no-rot woods over here is Australian pine, but the state has been cutting it all down and getting rid of it. If you could find submerged Australian pine, that stuff's amazing. All the aquatic plants like mangroves and stuff like that are protected, so we can't use those. It's not as easy as other states getting rocks and wood and stuff. A lot of stuff is protected by just, you know, environmental protection or private property protection. So we'll figure it out as time goes. We're using the lumber that's accessible to us right now. We do have that giant pile, but in the back, we do have a whole bunch more cages to get wood into, and I didn't want to burn through it and all of a sudden have nothing left. I would rather tack on all these oak branches and then go back selectively through the pile and be like, all right, this piece, let's add it to this enclosure. This piece, let's add it here. Because in truth, we haven't done any of the cool branches in any of the white throats, any of the water monitors. I think Boba is the only enclosure that is actually dressed out with branches, and that was from when we set it up for Miko. So, yeah, Boba's got his enclosure set up pretty good with branches, but we need to do that with all of them. This one enclosure is set up good with plants and branches. And even them, some of those are half-rotten branches that are gonna have to get changed out. We'll do it. We'll do it over time. So I'm just gonna finish these guys with oak. In the construction aspect of it, we're done. We can move Trace and the 2 Russian tortoises out and get them into their new enclosure. All right, we are in the front yard. Kagan is grabbing Trace.
Hey.
Aww, I cannot wait to see her in her new enclosure. And then we have the 2 Russian tortoises. One is chomping down. Now that is yours.
Sweetie.
That's Sweetie. And the little male behind her, this guy's name is Turtle. Turtle the tortoise.
His name is gonna change.
No, I think it should stay. This tortoise was gifted to us by one of my niece's really good friends, lifelong friend, Flynn. Flynn gifted his tortoise to us at Wolfe's World for it to live a good life in a large enclosure, and that's exactly what it's gonna do. It's settled in fine. You can see Sweetie and Turtle are getting along fine. And I don't know if you guys remember way back, Kagan had purchased a Russian tortoise to go with Sweetie. And as it goes with imports, it lasted maybe 2 months and then passed. Just no reason, no signs of anything. Was eating one day, and the stress or bacteria load in his stomach took its toll from being imported. And that's the shameful thing about purchasing imported animals. I'm not saying not to do it. Sometimes it's the only way to start a breeding project. I own imported animals, but it's unfortunate a lot of them pass. And these guys are readily available captive born in the US, so they can be purchased that way. actually a very common tortoise in the pet trade, because they get to such a perfect size, and they're long-lived, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long do they live?
Oh, it's 20, 25 years.
Oh, so I wonder how long Flynn owned Turtle, because Flynn is 14 and he's had it's an older tortoise, and that's its size. So you see, he's super alert. It's got to be so happy with a girlfriend. All right, Kagan is gonna carry Trace and get Trace into the enclosure. We'll follow behind her with the two tortoises, and we'll bring their food tray. Instead of the large water tray like we discussed, we're just going to use the corner water tray, because that's what these little guys can crawl out of if they happen to get in it. So that's what we're going to do, and move their existing hide box. All right, we decided to walk over together. Kagan wasn't sure with that long walk how Trace was going to do. That's a pretty long walk. So she's keeping her hands on Trace, and a lot of moving things with the chickens and the dogs walking next to us. It's just a lot.
You're doing great, girl.
She is gonna absolutely love this.
Wow, she's already looking around.
She sure is.
Oh,
Nope.
You want to stay on me?
She wants to stay on you.
That's okay. You can stay on me. There's my girl.
All right. Well, we'd love to see Trace. Oh, she's trying to figure out how to stay on you or get up there.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Look at the size of this.
Whoa, upgrade city, Trace.
She looks so healthy.
Yeah.
Happy, healthy iguana right there.
All right, girl. What do you think?
She is taking it all in. Well, I'm gonna let Trace settle just a little bit with you, and then I will start moving some of the other stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure he can get out of there, no problem. Especially if there was water. Now, I know it looks like all sand, but guys, there is actually a lot of roots from grasses and stuff in here, and some plants, and they're gonna get started in there relatively quick. I'm gonna clean the water bowl just real quick, and these little guys are gonna get to explore around.
There he goes. Oh my gosh, he's gonna make a break for it. This is a big enclosure for this little guy. What are we doing, Trace? What are we doing, Trace? Sweetie found the patch of grass and has already started eating the little bit of grass that's in here. Trace made it over to her big shelf and is exploring over here a little bit. What do you think, Trace? What do we think? Gonna get in that sun, girl? Little sun tanning. This little man's been trucking around the enclosure. He's done about 3 laps already. You can see his feet are encrusted with sand. What are you doing, Littlefoot? Huh? What are you doing, Littlefoot?
Okay, I moved their food tray from the front. Turtle's little hide that you said was maybe like a comfort blanket for him. He was moved here with that, so that might be something that will help him stay calm, knowing that is there. Their food / water tray, even though they eat the same food as Trace as well. and Trace's hide box. There's no heat pad in it right now. We don't need it for quite a good long time. We don't have to worry about a heat pad in her laying hill until she's of age. Or I don't think Kenan uses a heat pad.
Yeah.
Where his iguanas lay.
I think she's of age.
She's of age. She just needs the correct male that she gets along with.
I mean, we haven't tried Angus since last summer.
Yeah, so you can try again once, you know, supervised with the both of us. And the tortoises are loving it. They are absolutely loving it. So we're gonna walk away and see if Blue ends up coming out and sees Trace and this helps him. It would be so good to see him maybe up on his hide box or something like that because Trace is here, but I think we need to walk away for that to happen. So, that sneeze. We're gonna jump on another project and we'll come back and check on him.
So I actually came out here this morning to check on Trace. She's up on her log there. And we've got Blue right at the entrance to his door. Hey, Blue. Let's see if we can't say hey to him. Hey, handsome. How we doing, Blue? Oh, my goodness. Hey, man. It's good to see you out and about, huh? It's good to see you out and about, Blue. Oh, look at that handsome guy. Oh, yeah. Hey, buddy. Oh, some good head bobs, huh? Yeah. Some good head bobs. All right. That's pretty awesome. Good to see Blue out. How about you, Trace? First night in the big cage. What did you think, girl? What did you think, Trace? Let's see. Where's the littles? All right. Got little man right there. And Sweetie is still in the box.
Okay, I'm walking into Blue's enclosure. We've let about a week's time pass since Trace has been moved outside, and it's been a struggle to say the least with him.
Yeah, it has. It's been difficult.
He's in his hide box, head bobbing at us, and we haven't gotten him to eat anything unless it's hand fed to him. And I mean, Kagan almost used the term force fed, but maybe it's trick fed.
Assist fed?
Yeah.
Trick fed? Yeah.
He actually opens his mouth in defensive or aggression, and Kagan is able to bloop some Missouri.
Or a grape or banana.
Or a grape or some banana, and then once the banana is in his mouth, then it registers and he'll swallow it and eat it. But you set the banana in front of him all day long. I mean, this beautiful tray of food that has everything an iguana would want, he's not touching. He's just letting the ants and bugs and flies and everything get to it, and he's not touching it. So that is something we're gonna watch. All right, so did you get a bite that way?
Little tiny bite.
A little tiny bite, and he's just holding it in his mouth right now?
Yeah, he normally will kind of realize that it's food, and then he's like, kind of licks his lips, and he's like, oh, then he eats it. But
Trace is like, well, what about me? I will eat. So that's where we're at on this. We're gonna reach out to Rupert and get a better feeling for favorite foods and behaviors and stuff like that, because we're gonna dial this in and figure it out, because I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't be happy. Maybe we'll put some plants on the outside of his enclosure there just to give him a little bit more privacy, if that helps. He has been sunning, or I want to say sunning, but not even climbing up on his box, maybe once up there.
yeah.
He's been laying in the sun on the ground more since he's seen her out. So she has helped. She has helped. But in truth, this video is about Trace and her roommates. You can see this little one is chomping away. This is the new male, right?
Littlefoot.
Turtle. His name is Turtle. You can't change the poor guy's name. He's had his same name for his whole life. Trace is doing good. She's loving the space. She's been all the way up onto the shelf above the doorway using that stick. I've watched her climb down with her 3 legs. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Oh man. If you don't eat it, I will. That looks good. What does she want? She's like, I want what's in his cage.
Yeah.
That's funny. She is determined to get to whatever's in his cage. Oh. Maybe she's not liking the camera. There you go. She's done a little bit of digging, or maybe is that the turtles? The tortoises?
Probably the tortoises.
Tortoises doing a little. I think overall they're happy. We did do that trip to Alabama since, and I think we have an idea of what plants we can start trying in here, as well as I want to thank some of the viewers for the naming the approved plants, and even some of them gave a very thorough list of what we can put here. So we'll seek those plants out and try getting some of them in here to give them some green, some privacy and stuff like that. And then I'm going to continue working to get some of the other iguanas out here, because we have a lot going on this spring. If you want to call it spring, it feels like the dead of summer, right? The heat has been oven hot. So nothing to it but to do it. Just need to get this work behind us. We'll end on Trace. She is awesome. She really is an awesome character. Such a sweet lizard. And we are so happy to have her. We're happy to have you too, babe.
Oh, thanks.
All right, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell and comment. We'll see you soon with another exciting video.